here are some examples. First is y equals to 3x minus 1. And let's agree on the following. For all these questions, we want to find m and then b, x-intercept, and y-intercept. Well, that's same as y-intercept, right? So basically, we're trying to find three things and then graph. Okay. This is already in slope-intercept form. So m is 3, b is -1, so y-intercept is -1. What's the x-intercept? How do you find x-intercept? Set y as 0, right? 3x minus 1. Solve, you get x equal to 1/3. Now you have to draw the graph. How do we do it? Oh, first, because b is -1, I know that it passes through -1 on the y-axis. And then the slope is 3, so change of y over change of x is 3 over 1, meaning that when your change of y is 3, your change of x is 1. So you go 1, 2, 3 steps up, and you go 1 step right. That's your next point. You connect the two. That's the graph. And moreover, what is this x-intercept? This will be 1/3. Okay? And that's all I want to know about this graph. Good? All right, we'll move on to the next equation. The next example that we have on paper is 1/2 x plus 4. Okay. Again, it's still in the slope-intercept form, so m is 1/2, and y-intercept, or b, is 4. Let's raise this. B is 4. Now we want to find the x-intercept. To do that, we set y as 0. And then subtract 4 both sides. Okay. Now, when you have -4 equals to 1/2 x, what's the best way to solve for x?
Multiply by 2.
Multiply by 2. So when you solve an equation that has fractions, try to get rid of the denominator by multiplying it. Okay, so multiply by 2, multiply by 2. That's the easiest. And that gives you 2 and 1/2 cancels. 2 times -4 is? 2 times -4 is?
-80.
-8. Thank you. So x equal to -8. Okay. Now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 as your y-intercept. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess you need to put more. 7, 8. -8 as your x-intercept. And then connect the 2 as a straight line. That's the graph. Now you could have also drawn this graph by starting from here and then use the fact that slope is 1/2. What does that mean? Change of y over change of x is 1/2. So when you go up 1, you should go right 2. So you can start from here and go 1 up, which is 5, and then go 1, 2 steps to the right. So this point will be 2, 5. And then you can connect them with a straight edge. You can use some paper to just connect them. Okay, so either way, if you drew it with 4 and -8, or with 4 and 2, 5 connected, if you drew a straight line, that would be correct. Okay. All right. I guess the third one is a little tougher than the other because it's given to us as the point slope form, not slope and intercept form. Okay. How do we try this out? Well, first, what's the slope? Slope is same. It's this number, right? So slope is 1/3. That's easy. Now, however, because this is not in the slope-intercept form, it's hard to figure out b. To find out b, you have to change this into slope-intercept form. So let's try that. That means like changing to slope-intercept form means you solve for y. Okay, so we multiply 1/3. So you have y minus 2 equals to 1/3 x.
If it's endpoint slope, why don't we just do point slope?
Hmm?
If it's endpoint slope, why don't we just do point slope?
Because the question also was asking for b. Right? Yeah. Okay. So the question was asking for x and y intercept. Let's just pretend that they're both being asked. Okay. All right. So you have that, and then you add to both sides. So you have y equals to 1/3 x plus 2 plus 1/3. Now, what is 2 plus 1/3? 2 plus 1/3 is 6/3 plus 1/3, right? 6 divided by 3 is 2. And because now they have common denominators, I can add the top and you get 7/3, right? So we know that this here is 7/3. Therefore, your b is 7/3. That's your y-intercept. Okay? Now, if you wanted to know the x-intercept would be, or again, plug in 0 for y and solve. Okay? And then, to get rid of 1/3, you multiply by 3 both sides. So, multiply the left side by 3, multiply this by 3, and 3 and 1/3 will cancel. On this side, 3 times -2 would be -6. So you have x equals to -7. So that's your x-intercept. Okay. Now, to actually draw the graph, you could make use of the x-intercept because that's -7, 0. But you know this is also too far left. You might want to use something that's closer. So another good method is to use that trick. To set this equal to 0, set that equal to 0. That gives you a point where this graph passes through, right? So let's try that. Y minus 2 equal to 0. That gives you y equals to 2. And then x plus 1 equals to 0 gives you x equal to -1. Therefore, we know that the graph passes through -1, 1, and 2 here, right here. That's a point on the graph. And then because the slope is change of y over change of x is 1/3, when y increases by 1, x increases by 3. So you start from here, you increase by 1, you go to 3, and you increase x by 3. So 1, 2, 3, you're right here, so that's 2. So this coordinate is 2, 3. And you connect these 2 points as a straight line. We know that the x-intercept is -7, and this point right here is 7/3. Okay, so that's how you draw these graphs.